have gathered here today on the occasion of the 60th anniversary of the creation of UNFICYP to pay tribute to those who have lost their lives while serving in Cyprus and through them to the troop contributing countries. 60 years ago, the UN Security Council adopted Resolution 186 that authorized the establishment of the peacekeeping force in Cyprus. The UNFICYP has been tasked with a mandate to preserve international peace and security, to use its best efforts to prevent the recurrence of fighting, and as necessary, to contribute to the maintenance and restoration of law and order and a return to normal conditions. In that mandate has been carried out with commitment and at high cost. Today we solemnly lay a wreath at this monument erected to commemorate the sacrifice of 3 Austrian peacekeepers, First Lieutenant Jonathan Izai, Master Sergeant Paul de Combe, and Corporal August Isaac, who lost their lives on August 14, 1974, when their white jeep carrying the UN flag was hit in an air attack during the second phase of the Turkish invasion. Indeed, many UNFICYP soldiers were killed during that time when their positions came under fire and in defense of what is now UNFICYP headquarters in Nicosia Airport. The government and the people of the Republic of Cyprus are deeply indebted to the victims, to the people that lost their lives during service in Cyprus, and equally to their families and their countries. We are grateful to the United Nations for 60 years of service in the name of peace in Cyprus, to the 43 troop and police contributing countries, and to the 150,000 men and women in uniform that have served with UNFICYP over the years. In its 60 years history, UNFICYP has played an invaluable role. Its presence is required until a lasting settlement is reached, ending foreign occupation or reuniting the island and its people. We remain appreciative and we thank you for your service.
Your Excellency Minister Kombos, Your Excellency Ambassador Auer, General Tsitsikostas, ladies and gentlemen, I'm honored to be here with you today, accompanied by the senior leadership of UNFICYP, on the occasion of the 60th anniversary of the United Nations presence on the island, to pay solemn tribute to those who have fallen in the line of duty while serving here, and to the troop and police contributing countries who have made such a weighty commitment to peace in Cyprus. On this day 6 decades ago, Resolution 186 was adopted by the United Nations Security Council, establishing a United Nations peacekeeping force and asking the Secretary General to appoint a mediator on the Cyprus issue. Soon after, the first 6,000 police and military personnel arrived in Cyprus. 60 years have passed since then, and more than 150,000 women and men peacekeepers have served with UNFICYP over the years, hailing from 43 troop and police contributing countries. Among those peacekeepers, 187 of them, including 3 Austrians here in Koshiy, paid the ultimate price and sadly lost their lives trying to bring peace to Cyprus. To them, I'd like to pay the utmost tribute and honor their sacrifice. The selflessness of peacekeepers is often overlooked because, by definition, they are deployed in circumstances where the local population is suffering greatly. Over 3,500 peacekeepers have been killed around the world, and their sacrifice is a testament to the strength of the international commitment to peace. Even in relatively stable environments, such as Cyprus over the past 50 years, peacekeepers face hardships often deployed far from their homes and families. Each of the women and men serving in Cyprus has contributed to UNFICYP's foundational effort to prevent a recurrence of fighting and to help resolve issues that affect the everyday lives of Cypriots across the island. The work of UNFICYP peacekeepers and civilian staff in monitoring and preserving the military status quo, ensuring law and order in the buffer zone, managing the access of civilians therein, and building bridges between the communities, has always supported the UN's political efforts to encourage the sides towards a mutually acceptable settlement. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, every month in the buffer zone, hundreds of incidents are attended to by UN peacekeepers, most of them small, but each of them with the potential to escalate into a crisis if not addressed. The work of the peacekeepers is a tireless 24/7 responsibility. The UN doesn't sleep so that Cypriots can, or at least can a bit better. As we reflect upon these past 60 unhappy years, let us agree that peace in Cyprus is long overdue and that no effort must be spared to avoid any further anniversaries. Thank you all for your participation today, and thank you to the government of the Republic of Cyprus for organizing this tribute to our fallen colleagues. Thank you.
Honorable Minister of Foreign Affairs, Your Excellency, Ambassador of Austria in Cyprus, Mrs. Buckfisher, Mr. Colin Stewart, Secretary General, Special Representative and Head of the UN Peacekeeping Force in Cyprus, General Batsuri, UNFICYP Force Commander, distinguished guests, dear friends. The Minister of Defense, Mr. Vasilis Palmas, is unfortunately not able to attend the event due to unforeseen circumstances, but I would like to express his gratitude for the invitation and convey his greetings to all distinguished guests. It is with profound respect that we are gathered here at this memorial site dedicated to the memory of three Austrian Blue Berets, First Lieutenant Johann Eisey, Master Sergeant Paul de Comp, and Corporal August Isaac, who on the 14th of August 1974 lost their lives on this spot after an attack by Turkish fighter planes. On behalf of the Ministry of Defense and all the women and men of the National Guard, I would like to honor all 187 fallen peacekeepers from the United Kingdom, Finland, Canada, Denmark, Ireland, Sweden, India, Australia, Austria, Slovakia, Kenya and Barbados who served in UNFICYP. Let me also pay tribute on behalf of all of us serving in the armed forces of the Republic of Cyprus to all UN service personnel, men and women, who have served as peacekeepers around the world, including Cyprus, to achieve conditions of peace and stability, and who had tragically fell in the line of duty. As we mark this year the 60th anniversary of the adoption of Security Council Resolution 186, establishing in 1964 the United Nations Peacekeeping Force in Cyprus, we found ourselves at a significant and crucial geopolitical juncture. Our world faces complex, multifaceted challenges that pose significant threats to international peace and security. As we navigate through this era of intense geopolitical tensions and humanitarian crisis, especially in our region, the need for concerted efforts to address these challenges has never been more urgent. Amidst the current turmoil and instability, UN peacekeeping operations have a critical role to play. Being one of the longest-running peacekeeping operations globally, the UN force in Cyprus maintains its paramount importance in upholding the ceasefire on the island, preventing escalation, and safeguarding civilians. The presence of UNFICYP in Cyprus remains essential as long as the illegal Turkish military occupation of our islands persists. The continued occupation of over a third of Cyprus territory and the constant violations by the occupation army of the sovereignty and territorial integrity of the Republic of Cyprus, as we have experienced with the latest violations within the buffer zone by the Turkish occupation army, go against UN Security Council resolutions. These circumstances underscore the indispensability of the UN peacekeeping force in Cyprus to prevent both the recurrence of fighting as well as any further advances by the Turkish forces. UNFICYP's mandate, as agreed by the Republic of Cyprus, aims to uphold the UN Charter and act as a bulwark against the consolidation of the effects of aggressions by contributing to the restoration of law and order. distinguished guests, persisting in firmly supporting United Nations peacekeeping operations and recognizing their crucial role in contributing to the maintenance of peace and stability in Cyprus and worldwide, I seize this opportunity to express once more our sincere gratitude to all countries with personnel in UNFICYP and particularly to all the men and women who serve on the island, often putting their lives at risk. We solemnly pledge never to forget the sacrifice of those who gave their lives in the line of duty. We pledge to continue to exert utmost efforts in pursuit of lasting peace in Cyprus. Thank you very much.
Chief of the National Guard.